Hello, many thanks indeed for joining us.
On the programme this evening.
What a dump. The row that's broken out about the tons of rubbish illegally fly-tipped on a site in Wigan that's partly owned by the King.
We've had rats in our cars, rats in our houses. We do just see them wandering around on the street.
A 95-year-old woman's tied up and threatened in her own home in Salford. We'll be live with the latest as police appeal for witnesses.
They've paraded on the promenade at Blackpool for more than 100 years, but is the future of the resort's famous heritage trams under threat?
Only 2 years old and now a world record holder. How dudes officially become snooker's trickiest toddler.
And following in the aftermath of Storm Chandra, we do have more low pressure on the way, but it's butting up against high pressure sitting across Scandinavia. Now, what does that mean for us? I'll bring you a full forecast later in the programme.
Well, first tonight, and a bit of a warning about our top story this evening. A criminal investigation's begun into a massive fly-tipping site in Wigan that's left some local residents coping with infestations of rats.
Yeah, sorry if you're just sitting down to eat. A staggering 25,000 tonnes of rubbish has been building up over the last year or so at the site in Bickershaw. It's now become a major environmental and public safety concern.
Yeah, it's believed the mega mountain of waste is partly on land owned by the Duchy of Lancaster, the King's private estate. They say they are working with Wigan Council and other agencies to sort the problem out.
Yeah, but while there's been some dispute about who should pick up the tab for removing it, residents living there just metres away say they can't stand anymore.
Tim Scott has this report.
25 tonnes of toxic, smelly rubbish illegally dumped near a school and houses in Bickershaw. This mountain of waste has caused serious problems for local people with their houses, gardens and even cars infested with rats.
So the ceiling, Nisha, it's fair to say, is a bit of a mess. This is because you've had to take part of it out because of the rats.
So we had to take part of the ceiling down to put the bait in because we couldn't get to the rats to bait them off. All we could hear was like loads of scurrying, loads of scratching. And when rats come head to head, they start squealing at each other and we could hear squealing. So at that point, you can imagine how our children reacted. My eldest, who's here all the time, thought he was going to be eaten to death by a rat.
Nisha, who lives next door to the dump with her husband and 2 young children, is at the end of her tether.
We've had severe flies and seagulls in the summer. And in the winter months, the rats have just gone completely out of control. We've had rats in our cars, rats in our houses. We do just see them wandering around on the street. They're just constantly about.
The rubbish was illegally dumped at the site in October 2024, and despite it catching fire last year, the council, the Environment Agency and the people who lease the site are yet to find a way to clear it. That's led to frustration for residents and the local MP.
Well, I'd like to see a much more cooperative approach to this. Rather than saying it's not our problem and passing the buck between agencies, I'd like to see everybody come together and saying, let's fix this together. Also working with local waste management companies who we've been talking to, they want to help. What they need is a collaborative approach from everybody involved to make sure that we can come up with a solution rather than chucking more barriers in the way of getting this done.
30% of the site is owned by the Duchy of Lancaster, i.e. the King. A spokesperson told us they're working with the community to find a solution. The council and the Environment Agency also say they're trying to resolve the issue and a criminal investigation is underway. But over a year since it was dumped, the toxic rubbish is still here. The row over just who's responsible for clearing this site shows no sign of being resolved, and for local residents like Nisha, it seems they will continue to suffer with rat infestations and bad smells. And with spring and the warmer weather just around the corner, if this site isn't cleared in a timely fashion, it seems those problems that residents are suffering will only get worse. Tim Scott, ITV News, Bickershaw.
Well, Wigan Council told us the site continues to have a daily impact on residents and a nearby primary school. They went on to say the council believes that those who have dumped the waste should be responsible for its clean-up, and failing that, the landowners.
Yeah, they also add, as one of the impacted landowners, we are making efforts to clear the waste on our land. We call on the government to make funding available via the Environment Agency or other departments to help remove the waste, as has been done for other sites. Well, next tonight to the crime that shocked a neighbourhood in Salford.
Yes, a 95-year-old woman targeted by a would-be robber in her own home.
Anna Yosef is at Greater Manchester Police Headquarters for us tonight. And Anna, a truly shocking incident this, isn't it?
That's right, Katie. Officers here at Greater Manchester Police have described this as a vile attempted robbery. A 95-year-old woman tied up and threatened in her own home in broad daylight, and they believe the offender is a man in his late 60s and early 70s. Well, it's understood that this would-be robber tricked his way into the woman's home in Little Holton in Salford on Tuesday morning at around 11 a.m. He then tied up her hands using a cable tie and demanded she hand over her purse and cash. Luckily, he was disturbed when one of the woman's friends came round to the house and confronted him, and he just ran off. Her brave actions have been commended by the force, and fortunately both women were physically unharmed. Now, the man's described as white, as I've previously said. He's believed to be in his late 60s, early 70s. He had short dark hair combed over, and he was wearing a dark raincoat jacket and jeans. No arrests have been made as of yet, but police say they are carrying out extensive inquiries. They're stepping up patrols in the area, and they're also appealing for the public's help. They're asking people to check their doorbell footage and their CCTV. It's clear that officers are determined to track down the individual who targeted such a vulnerable victim.
OK, Anna, thank you very much.
Well, next tonight, the ongoing campaign to get new inquests into the death of 50 people in a fire at the Summerland holiday complex on the Isle of Man.
The fire in 1973 resulted in inquest verdicts on the island of misadventure. Survivors and their families say that appeared to partly blame the dead for their deaths.
Well, a delegation of campaigners went to the UK Parliament in Westminster to drum up more support from MPs here. Our Isle of Man reporter Joshua Stokes was with them.
Standing together, survivors and bereaved families of the Summerland fire. Almost a year to the day since their last visit, they've brought their campaign to Westminster.
My mother deserves me to carry on, and from my personal point of view, I will not give up on the people that died there.
The heat is starting to build up even as I speak to you right now.
Jackie's mum Lorna and friend Jane were two of the 50 people killed in this island inferno, causing widespread panic and lifelong trauma. A trauma still felt by those fighting for change, haunted by the misadventure verdict placed on their loved ones, which they say puts the blame on the victims.
As a child, you don't realise the scale of the tragedy that you've been involved in, but as an adult, I'm angry about it.
I'll never forget that day. I couldn't get up to my parents. I had to wait till the following morning before my dad phoned me to tell me they were all alive and they were coming home from holiday.
Misadventure was an injustice. It meant that everybody who entered the building that night or any time in Summerland, when a fire could have started, did so at their own risk, and that they knew they were taking a risk, which is disgraceful.
In the past 12 months, the Summerland families have been fighting a complex legal battle with the Isle of Man. Last year, submitting an application for a fresh inquest into the blaze before it was rejected by the Attorney General.
During this whole time, we've been subject to intimidation tactics and delaying tactics by the Isle of Man authorities.
Faced with the latest legal barrier, the families plead with MPs, outraged by the Isle of Man's decision in a battle that for some is all too familiar.
The parallels with Hillsborough are just unbelievable. You know, you've got poor families there who are fighting just for truth.
The MPs can come together and do what we're doing now, which is raising the profile.
And we're looking at potentially taking a delegation over where we want to meet the Attorney General, we want to meet the politicians in the Isle of Man, and we want to see face to face and have them conversations.
It's time to listen and it's time to act, and as Ian said, it's time to do the right thing.
A rallying call to parliamentarians preparing to take the fight to the island as the families escalate the campaign, unwavered in their fight for justice. Joshua Stokes, ITV News, Westminster.
Well, the Manx government told us it recognises the profound impact of the Summerland fire and respects the campaigners' rights to continue to raise concerns and seek further scrutiny.
Yeah, they say the island's Attorney General has previously declined to hold new inquests, but will consider further representations in accordance with the law.
Well, in other news today, a man's appeared in court to deny raping two 14-year-old girls in Bolton. Appearing via video link from Forest Bank Prison in Salford, Afghan national Sultani Bakatash, who's 28, pleaded not guilty to a number of sexual offences alleged to have taken place at a flat in the Middle Holton area on Saturday the 6th of December last year. The defendant was remanded to appear again at Bolton Crown Court next month. Well, next, with the row in Blackpool, which some say is a fight to save the resort's famous heritage trams. Tram enthusiasts say Blackpool Council is trying to get rid of the heritage trams by stealth.
Well, they say plans to demolish part of the Tramtown attraction where the trams are maintained will mean the trams will have to stop running because the equipment in the sheds can't be moved.
The council say that Tramtown sheds are more than 100 years old and will cost millions of pounds to repair. Meanwhile, the issue will be discussed at the full council meeting tonight.
Our reporter Jennifer Buck has more.
It's a favourite site in the seaside town. Blackpool's heritage trams have been running along the seafront for 140 years. But these double-decker historic trams take time and money to keep on track.
The tram behind me there, 1910, it's a Bolton tram. It's a beautiful tram, it's very unique. The firm that made that tram doesn't exist, so all of the parts have to be manufactured here in Blackpool for them. And they were manufactured in this very room. And so running that is really complex because you can't just go and get them off Amazon. You have to make those parts. So that's why this building really matters.
The volunteers insist the original engineering equipment like the forge and the wheel lathe cannot be moved. Tramtown is the workshop that houses all the machinery, some dating back to the 1920s, and it doubles up as a popular visitor attraction.
He loves trams, trains, and we thought it'd be nice to bring him.
These trams have seen so much, and I really enjoy seeing them.
The building has housed the trams that are still in use for more than 100 years, and the council say it will cost around £3 million to get it back up to scratch. They would prefer to invest in the nearby tram shed.
4 years ago was the first time the possibility of demolition was raised because of the condition and the cost of maintaining them. But we continue to work with Tramtown. We're supporting them with the submission of a funding bid.
One of the options is to move the trams and the equipment from the workshop across the way to the tram shed. Now, there's already around 40 of the most popular heritage trams being housed over in the tram shed, but the team here say it is just not suitable.
It has massive holes in the roofs, there's lots of water ingress, lots of water damage. Those trams are rotting away.
The popularity of the trams is not up for debate. Carol Martin was a conductor on the famous boat tram and says nothing can replace it.
To be a conductor on an open-top tram, one of the boats, in the summer, every time we went up and down all day long for 8 hours, the tram was full of people, happy people.
Tramtown is shut today due to an electrical fault, but it's hoped it's not the end of the line. Its long-term future will be raised at a full council meeting tonight. Jennifer Buck, ITV News in Blackpool.
OK, time for sport now, and lots at stake for both Liverpool and Man City in Europe tonight. Mike?
Yeah, that's right. This is the battle to qualify for the last 16. It's the final round of fixtures in the league phase of the competition tonight. Liverpool and Manchester City could both qualify tonight with a top 8 finish. Both play at home. A draw for Liverpool against Azerbaijan's Karabakh could be enough to take them through. A win would guarantee it, while Manchester City will probably need to beat Galatasaray if they are to avoid the playoffs.
Everybody wants to play in the Champions League. Champions League is one of the biggest competition out there, so everybody wants to show what they got in the Champions League. So obviously we're going to give it our all, and hopefully we can get to where we want to get.
I think if you're in the top 8, obviously you don't play two games, and with the amount of games that we have now, 2 games less is good for us. So yeah, we just want to win this game and control everything that we have in our hands, and then see where it brings us.
Well, as we've mentioned, standing in Liverpool's way tonight, a Karabakh of Azerbaijan, and they will be well supported tonight. David Chisnall is with some of their fans at Anfield.
Yes, both sets of fans starting to arrive here at Anfield. You know, this is the first time ever that Liverpool have played Qarabağ, and they meet tonight in the Champions League. Both eyeing up qualification for the next round. Let's have a quick chat with the fans. We'll come to the Liverpool fans. First of all, we've got Elaine and Tom with us. Guys, we'll come to you. I mean, Slot's under a bit of pressure. How important is a win tonight for him?
Loads of pressure. You know, we've just got to. We can't be doing any extra matches. You know, to get through again. You know, we've just got to win tonight.
Well, that's it for his position as well. There's been a lot of questions about it, which is bizarre after last season.
Such a shame, really, and I don't think it's all down to him. But you know, I think the transfer team have to take a bit of flack. But anyway, you know, he's the one that's going to take the flack, isn't he? So.
And Tom, tell us, you've come a long way for this one tonight.
Yes, come from Pennsylvania.
Now, you're from Liverpool originally, but you live over there now.
Yes, I do. I live in the USA for the last 30 years. So and before that, 20 years in Australia. So I've been gone from quite.
But always a Liverpool fan. So how important to win tonight? Like Elaine was touching upon, not going through that.
56, I saw my first game. So Billy Little play here. So that's pretty.
Score for tonight?
Well, 2-0, I think, for Liverpool.
2-0, there we go. Oh, there we go. Well, let's have a quick chat with some of the Qarabağ fans. We've got Max and Tamer with us. Yes. I hope I pronounced that right. Max, for you guys, playing at Anfield, what's this like? How big is this for you?
It's a very big game for us, because this is the second time Qarabağ is playing in the Champions League. The first time was in 2017. That didn't go really well, but it was the first appearance in the Champions League for our team, so we're very happy to be back here. This is the first time we're playing Liverpool. We're very excited for this game, obviously. Honestly, obviously Liverpool is a very difficult opponent for us, but Qarabağ has had many surprising games this season, so we'll be hoping for the better outcome, perhaps a draw.
A draw, I was going to say to him. A quick one, score prediction from you?
I think we can do it if the first 20 minutes will, speak out the entire game. If we can hold it the first 20 minutes, then I think we can. Why not? We can win as well.
Like that
2-1,
confidence there. There we go. Both sets of fans confident. Okay, let's finish this with. Give us a cheer if you think you're going to win.
Yay!
Liverpool, come on.
Oh well, it clearly goes to Liverpool. Guys, you could have cheered.
Oh, for Liverpool.
No. There we go. Let's just hope the game is better than the cheering.
Thanks, David. David Chisnall there, failing miserably to whip the fans into a frenzy at Anfield tonight. Well, on to last night's action now, and Bolton Wanderers strengthened their position in the League One playoff places. They left it late at home to Burton Albion, with Sam Dolby securing a 2-1 win deep into stoppage time. They are third in the table, just above Stockport County, who also won. They beat Blackpool by 2-1 at Bloomfield Road. Into League Two, and Accrington Stanley thrashed Newport County 4-1 away from home. Matty Virtue's stoppage time goal earned Fleetwood Town a 2-1 victory at Harrogate, and another stoppage time goal from Mickey Demetrio helped Crewe Alexandra to draw 2-2 at Bromley. To boxing, and Tyson Fury has confirmed his opponent for his comeback fight. The Morecambe-based former world heavyweight champion will take on Russia's Arslanbek Makhmudov on April the 11th in the UK. The venue is yet to be announced. And finally, to a young man we met on this programme last year who is now a record breaker. 2-year-old Jude Owens showed us his incredible snooker skills on his Granada Reports debut in October. Well, Jude, who's from Manchester, has now secured 2 Guinness World Records for his trick shots. He's now one of the youngest double record holders in history. And I have a funny feeling that's not the last time we'll be talking about it. Amazing skills for just 2 years of age.
Just unreal. Imagine what he'll do by the time he's 4.
Oh, world champion, definitely.
Heard it here first. Now to a stage show based on the iconic film from the 90s starring Kevin Costner and singer Whitney Houston. Yes, of course, The Bodyguard was a hugely successful film and won the late, great Whitney 8 American Music Awards, including original soundtrack.
Yeah, so it's no surprise then that the film has been adapted into a musical. International icon Adam Garcia is taking on the title role, but interestingly, despite his well-known background, he won't be singing or dancing in this production.
Our entertainment correspondent Caroline Whitmore headed to the Palace Theatre in Manchester, which now holds a very special place in his heart.
We're here at the Palace Theatre in Manchester. I'm now joined by the cast of The Bodyguard. Adam, have you ever performed here before?
No, this is my first time, and I'm incredibly delighted. And without hyperbole, I can say I think this is my favourite theatre in the whole of the UK that I've performed at. It's so beautiful.
This is actually my very first UK tour, so this is just a treat for me every week or every other week to be in a new location.
Can we talk about The Bodyguard then? Because
sure.
I mean, that's why we're here. Come on, Calpol.
Oh, you don't look like a bodyguard.
This is my disguise.
If you haven't seen The Bodyguard film, I mean, where have you been, for one? But do you feel the pressure because it is such a huge film, which is nearly 35 years old?
Yeah, it's the same age as me.
And me.
That's right. There is a pressure. There's so much love for this film, for the soundtrack, to take on Kevin Costner's shoes.
Yeah.
It's a great honour to get into literally his shoes.
Yeah.
I've asked him for his shoes, and I wear his shoes.
No, you haven't.
No, I haven't.
Oh. I'm so gullible. I believed you then, Adam.
I should have gone on. I should have done that.
Sit on it. We all know and love, obviously, the late, great Whitney Houston. The classic I Will Always Love You, is that possibly one of the hardest songs to ever sing?
There's a lot of hard songs in the show, but none of them had the expectation that I Will Always Love You has on it.
Now, we all know, obviously, your background in dance. Is it strange for you being in a performance where you're not really dancing, are you?
I barely move. It's really hard, and I love the choreography. I don't think I could do it, to be honest, like what these guys are doing.
Come on.
There are some lifts in
Sidoni's
there.
not sure. She's disputing that.
I mean, I could do a couple of the moves. A couple of the moves.
Listen, lies and fallacies. He could do anything that's up there. I've seen him in action. It's true.
You did a little homage on stage to the Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah, it is odd. I do want to tap my toes.
And have we got a favourite song, Sidoni?
One Moment in Time.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were going to go into it then.
No. Oh, I've gone way too low. Oh, well.
Well, it's lovely to see you both here in Manchester.
I would have a go at singing, but I know crack your tellies at home. Here's Tori.
Mum, wet wipes, toilet or bin?
Bin. Why?
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
Hello again. After what has been a much better day today and quite bright for most of us, we are going to see some fog patches developing through the night tonight, mainly over higher ground, and a lot more cloud then heading our way. So I hope you did see some sunshine today and you enjoyed it, because it might be at a premium as we head towards the weekend. So low pressure continues to feed its way into the southwest of the UK. We've got high pressure sitting across Scandinavia. We're kind of sandwiched in the middle, but a lot of the rainfall as it comes in is kind of fizzling out as it butts up against that high pressure, so we're not going to see anything too significant. I'd say damp at times rather than particularly wet. But back to the here and now. After what has been quite a quiet day with some decent spells of hazy sunshine out there, we are going to see a little bit more cloud come through overnight tonight. An early frost is possible locally, but most places by the end of the night seeing the temperatures at around 3 or 4 Celsius, so I don't think we'll be scraping the windscreens first thing in the morning. However, the low cloud sitting over the hills, particularly over the tops, could be quite thick in the morning. So if you're heading that way, give yourself a bit of extra time because the visibility is going to be pretty poor. In the lee of the breeze, the lee of those hills with that southeasterly coming in, again, that's where we'll see the best of any breaks in the cloud. Temperatures at around 6 Celsius, so feeling a little fresher than it has done today, and that wind picking up through the Irish Sea as well. Sunrise is at 8:03 in the morning and sunset around 4:45 in the evening. So looking ahead, we have got this band of rain that could give us a bit of a wetter end to the week. But as we head through the weekend, just more cloud, bits and pieces of drizzle, and temperatures sitting around the mid to high single figures.
Cleaned up well.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
Thanks, Tori, and that's just about all we've got time for on tonight's Granada Reports.
We're back with a late bulletin. It's the news at 10. Hope you can join us for that. I'll put my teeth back in for tomorrow. Bye.